Hello, everybody. My name is Devi Sitaram, and I am an artist. Today, I would like to introduce my work with a small question. Have you noticed that all gatherings that are held beneath the banyan tree is mostly of men? On that note, I will introduce my current series, which is titled Brothers, Fathers, and Uncles. Today, I will be walking you through my inspiration, my conceptualization, the technique that I developed, as well as my journey with this body of work. Firstly, to contextualize myself for all of you, I will reach into my past and upbringing. I am from Kerala, but given that my father was an Indian diplomat, I grew up living mostly overseas. His job required him, and therefore us, his family, to move countries every 2 to 3 years. This meant that I grew up living in about 11 countries, starting with China, Cambodia, South Africa, India, Switzerland, Thailand, Taiwan, Singapore, Mauritius, United Arab Emirates, and Australia. This upbringing obviously shaped me, my perspectives, and certainly influenced my art along the way. Each series that I've created was born in reaction to my new context and my process of taking in my new environments. For years, I tried to create works that were as culturally neutral as possible, which meant that I would try to remove indicators such as race, time frame, and setting from my works to try and make my works as accessible as possible to people from varied backgrounds. This shifted entirely in 2016 when I moved to Australia. There, it took me longer than usual to settle into this new environment. And I found it quite jarring and complicated as a South Asian adult in a Caucasian space, particularly that island state. At that age of 26, my identity, politics, and vantage points had shifted. I started to become more aware of my cultural differences, as well as being one of a few, if any, brown bodies in a given space. Rather than unpacking this overwhelming experience through my art, I leaned inwards for the first time towards my sense of home and community and what it actually meant to me. So, as I delved into my relationship with India, with Kerala, and with this community, what surfaced were ruminations on patriarchy. There lay an unease there, which I imagine most of us in this room have had to grapple with. The seed of my series was actually from the concept of the Vayunoki, and that came about from my experience of returning home each year from wherever I was living at the time, and suddenly having to deal with eyes on my body, of having to question my dressing, being wary of my demeanor, my reactions, my responses, and my facial expressions. This was evident outside of the home, but there were more than mere traces that permeated through the walls, slid in beneath the door, and came in with the wind through an open window. It was a place where women were to occupy, of rhetoric that swam around us, of projected narratives we were responsible for carrying within us. I knew that I visually wanted to create this reality that mutated itself into so many forms and structures. The visual came to me quite organically. I knew I wanted to portray men wearing mundas, gathered and standing about in public space. I trust that everybody here knows what a munda is. It is a garment with a nuanced history. Various meanings and expressions are associated with its white flag-like presentation. It situated my work within Kerala, but also, in my opinion, fairly represented its people today. People of all backgrounds wear the munda, be it of various religious communities, class, and caste. It is worn daily for labor and leisure, for celebrations, gatherings, festivals, rallies, weddings, and funerals. There's a language in the drape and an expression in how it is wielded. Over the years, I have amassed a huge photo archive of men wearing mundas, from friends and family who have modeled for me, as well as of strangers that I've documented in public space. I then take those images and reposition them in such a way to create compositions like this. My intention is to create a visual that is a seemingly natural gathering of men, but also something that is a visual that is familiar to us. Every element in the work has a measured intention. For example, the cropping of the waist. Every single painting of mine doesn't have anything above the torso. And this is because I didn't want to focus on each individual. Who each man was not the point of my painting, but rather to represent a sort of othering or a section of society that spoke towards my concept, which was tackling the patriarchy. Another poignant omission in the work is women, right? This is entirely intentional again, and I hope that men in this audience have also taken note of this absence. This is to speak of public space and how it is accessed. Women are seen far less in public space, and when they are, it is for a certain purpose. It is either them traveling from point A to B for a given reason, and them loitering is near unfathomable. Then there are other choices. Although the work is situated in Kerala, the most easy approach would have been to try and depict this lush, bountiful, green, opulent sort of rich landscape. But instead what I've done is I have tried to create a muddy, murky, gritty, and grainy palette of grays and browns. The reason for this was that I drew inspiration, instead of the lush greenery, was that Kerala being a tropical state, it's always raining and there's a sense of dilapidation that comes around just by the natural weathering of our environment. And so I drew inspiration from rain-streaked walls with peeling paint, porous and concrete. And so that's the sort of texture that actually runs through my work if you were to see it in person. The reason for this was, again, the visual I'm depicting is not meant as a celebration, but rather a measured critique. Up until now, we have talked about how my past has influenced my choices from the background to the Kasava Munda, but I would like to explain my actual technique now. My medium is acrylic paint on canvas. I layer about 10 to 12 coats of paint and then use reductive techniques, which means that I scrape away at the paint to create the texture, grain, and form that you see in my works. The technique that I've created for myself is actually physically painful, so it's a really arduous and slow technique, but it is quite meditative, and I'm quite proud of the fact that it's a process-based practice. Another really important element to me in the works is the flora that you see on the ground. It was important to me to try and depict time, or to try and capture time in my works. I wanted to express that the visual that you see is not something that you see only today, but has been occurring for generations past and yet to come. So I used flora in an attempt to capture time. So this meant that flowers have fallen to the ground, have gathered around the feet of these men. Some have wilted, some will wilt, as these men continue to occupy space and feel entitled to such space. So my first work of the series took me about 1.5 years to complete. So all my hammering out of how to tackle the series was done on that one work. After that, basically it was just me trying to unpack my relationship with home and therefore using art as a tool for that. But over time, my interest had deepened and I continued to explore more compositions and my technique developed, etc. And so slowly but surely, I've continued the works, continued exhibiting, and yeah, we have arrived at today. And my intention is not to portray a public space, but to speak to a social psyche that extends well beyond into every aspect of our lives. The visual that I depict is within Kerala, but I'm hoping that my message is a reality that extends well beyond Kerala, anywhere in the world. All I have done is to visually translate what I have lived, experienced, and felt. What you take away from the work is entirely your own, based on what your experiences are, what your context is, your vantage points, your politics, and your social sensitivities. Or, as the new generation says, from your point of view. Thank you all for joining my journey.